What is up, all my party people? If you are hearing the sound of my voice, then you already know this is the Ask Your Cuzzin Podcast. Welcome. Of course, your favorite cousin. I know I'm your favorite. Give yourself a round of applause. Welcome up, folks. Welcome back to another episode. So right now, we actually have a cousin that's sending us in a little something. So let's get to reading, shall we? Let's go. This is from Moving Too Fast. Last week, I met a guy who offered me a ride to pay my bills at a local store. We spent the day smoking, talking, and joking, but we got intimate fast. Day one. Don't judge, but it happened. Girl, it happens, okay? It happens. We spoke about our lives from past relationships, more so his than mine, because he didn't want to know about mine. Damn, that's kind of fucked up, ain't it? Like, what? All right, he told me he'd been in jail and why, but he's repairing his life in between jobs. He spent that Thursday through that weekend and this week together. I listened more than spoke, but he'd been moving faster in a short time and expected me to just drop my life because he entered the picture. First of all, hell no. Let's keep reading. He wanted to be around me a little too much. He came to church with me that Saturday. He sweet talked me. We hung out and even told me he loved me a day ago. Girl, be fucking for real. Hold on. All of this was within a week's time? Okay. To be honest, I was cautious and uncomfortable at the same time. Child, that is an understatement. Okay, I know sex made all of this complicated, but I couldn't help feeling like he was oversharing just to put himself in position with me. Hell yes, he was. He was doing a whole hell of a lot. I'm not sure why he wanted to be in my life so hard and trying to make me a part of his. Other than me being a single working mom and having my own place, he wanted to be where I was and involved in every part of my life way sooner than I was comfortable with. What the hell? Everything seemed like it was too quiet 1 minute, and in the next minute, I had an attitude when I spoke up, or he was reading into everything I said without a clear and understanding of it. And I had to explain what I meant or how to do things, like I always have to walk him through it. Oh, wow. That's a bit much. Hold on, wait. Okay, let's keep going. All right. Clear. Okay. It had to explain what I meant or how to do things. Like I always have to walk him through it. Kind of like he was a child. That's kind of crazy. As an introvert, it just started to drain me. Hell yes, it would drain an extrovert. What you mean? The final straw was when he took some of my weed. Flag on the play. First of all, you don't touch my goddamn food. You definitely don't touch my damn weed. Let's keep going. Sold it and owed me $10. I don't smoke often unless I'm stressed or overwhelmed. Totally get that. And it's not for sale. When he asked me for more, I told him no. And he asked when I smoke. I said when I feel like it. How you gonna steal my shit and get mad at me? Because I'm not finna give you more of my shit that you stole in the first place. Make that shit make sense, but we're gonna keep reading. He sold it and said he could get it from his car. He left and never came back, so I called. All he could say is, I'm good, you good, we cool. I know he felt I was being sarcastic or nonchalant, but I did answer his question honestly. Was I wrong? Am I tripping? First of all, this motherfucker stole weed from you. That's number one. Okay, let's just be honest. Number two, he basically, this is some fuckboy tendencies, masked and charade as I want to do everything and be a part of your life. Girl, you are a stable household. That is the reason why his ass is trying to be a part of your life. Single mother or not, it sounds like you got your shit together. I know you didn't really give much of a description of yourself, but based on him latching on so quickly, he's a user. That's all that is. Girl, he stole your damn weed. He stole your fucking weed. I just can't get past that. Then on top of that, and then he still owed you $10. Be fucking for real. Like, come on. Come on. Now, of course, as your cousin, we're not judging over here. It's a judge-free zone. We don't do that. But the point of the matter is, let's be real. Honey, you probably got dickmerized. Now, for those of y'all listening on the airways, and you don't know what being dickmerized is, let me explain. It is when a gentleman, okay, it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, bicycle, tricycle, I don't care. It's when a gentleman gives it to you so good that you are willing to do stupid shit because you know that that person can give it to you like that on a regular basis. Y'all heard her say sex did complicate things. Hell yes, it complicates things. It makes you not think clearly, okay? Let me tell you something, sis. You are not alone. Your cousin feels your pain. I've been there, done that, and got that t-shirt, unfortunately, more than one occasion. And what I mean by more than one occasion, sometimes you will become aware to the fuckery and the bullshit that a person is feeding you. And then unfortunately, what happens, you end up continuing to be a part of the bullshit. You know they're feeding you bullshit and you know it's stupid. But because of the fact that they hitting that spot just right, you're like, well, you know what? He said he was going to come back with my car. So, yeah. That was my dumbass. We're not going to even, that's a story for another day. But what I'm saying is, point blank and overall, honey, the only thing you're tripping about is even being involved in that situation. You deserve so much more, and you definitely deserve to not even have to be in the middle of that. First and foremost, you got your own life going on. You're a single mom. You clearly have a kid that you're having to take care of by yourself. He's not adding any type of contributing factor to the situation other than a vehicle. That's the only thing I'm hearing in this right now. Because based on the story, she didn't specify if she had a vehicle or not. He just kind of was like there in the midst of the moment. But overall, no, you're not tripping. But you are tripping about dealing with this person that really is not adding any more to your life than what you already provide yourself. If it's a situation where you don't have a vehicle, that's going to come in time. You know what I'm saying? We all have to have our seasons and we all go through things. Trust me, I completely understand. I've been there before. My partner is going through that right now where we're trying to work towards getting him a vehicle because somebody hit his car last year. So the car got totaled out. But what I'm saying is, in a grand scheme of things, you will never make sense to a person that is a freeloader. I'm just calling a spade a spade. The fact that he is literally, like, let's be honest, when we read the part that he mainly talked about himself and mainly talked about his past situations, that was a big ass red flag. Like, I'm talking about you might as well call that NASCAR. That flag was so goddamn big, waving. That was a first red flag. First and foremost, when a person overshares in a situation when you first are meeting them, one of two things. They're oversharing to manipulate, or they're oversharing because they may have hurt and damage. A lot of times people try to overshare and they try to bond with a person. It's called a trauma bond. Okay. So trauma bonding is basically, in a grand scheme, exactly what it says, where you guys bond over similar traumas or traumas that you guys have gone through in life individually that you guys are trying to cope together. Now, in this situation that our cousin is talking about, moving too fast, that's what we're going to call her. Because, of course, at the Ask Your Cuzzin podcast, all your stories are always anonymous. Okay. So if you also ever want to send in your story or have your question, feel free to send it in to the Ask Your Cuzzin email. It is askyourcuzzin, CUZZIN @gmail.com. Okay. Just thought I'd throw that out there. But in this particular synopsis of a story, or the whole situation as a whole, you literally, I think you just kind of got swept up in the moment. It happens. It happens to the best of us. And realistically, there's nothing to really be ashamed of. There's no judgment, especially not coming from me. Honey, I am the queen of getting swept up in the moment. I literally made a relationship out of a one-night stand. Dead ass serious. Not my relationship right now, but in past relationships. I have literally made a relationship off a one-night stand and thought I can expound upon it because I was so connected to the person intimately. That is a crock of shit. You can have an amazing experience sexually and have a horrible experience mentally the rest of the way. Because what people fail to realize, it does not take anything mentally to be sexual. I want people to understand that. That is a natural part of life. That is a natural function of things. We are here to procreate and one day die. Okay. So just because this person may know how to do things to your body, and I'm talking about turn your elbow inside out, I don't know. But the point of what I'm saying is that's a natural thing and nothing to necessarily build upon off of that. Because it sounds like this was a good time that turned horrible. And honestly, it doesn't sound like it was much of a good time, because realistically, all you guys did was talk, mainly him, then smoked and chilled. And that's pretty much it, which, again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's all synonymous of what I like to call a hoe phase. And not saying that you are a hoe, but everybody at some point in life, you're going to go through a little hoe phase, as the words of Issa Rae. And if you haven't been through one, really, it's not even really a hoe phase. Let's be honest. It's just a temporary time, as Meg Thee Stallion would call it, a hot girl summer. Let me tell you something. You can have a hot girl year, okay? This is where you're going through a time in life where you choose not to really date anybody. You're just kind of just chilling. You hang out with people. You get your rocks off. They do their thing. You do your thing. And then you go on about your business. I cannot stand when people try to berate or belittle people for having those moments in life. It's understandable. Sometimes you don't want to be tied down to anybody. Sometimes you just want to have your moment in life and just do your own thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, let me rephrase that again. If you having a whole phase, you finna have a hot girl summer, girl, twerk in a handstand while you do it. Or fellas, throw them aces up. Whatever it is that you're doing. It doesn't matter. People don't have to. This is what I want you to understand. You don't need permission to live your life in the capacity that you're trying to live it. Nobody can make you feel wrong or make you feel bad for the decisions you chose to make. Hell, there's a lot of people that made a lot of decisions, and that's how your ass got here. So, I mean, let's be honest. Our parents are not always the best example of certain life structures that we should have done. Because, I mean, have you looked at your dad? Yeah. I said what I said. I'm kidding. There's probably a lot of people that have great relationships with their father. How does it feel to be God's favorite? Anyway, I'm kidding. But no, seriously though, in the reality of it is back to the story that our cousin gave us today on the episode. She asked herself, is she tripping? More than anything else, I think you're tripping because you allowed yourself to continue to even deal with this person. He told you I loved you after 1 week. And we're not even talking about like you had the, the Notebook type of week. Yeah, y'all remember the movie, The Notebook? It was a beautiful movie. Now, in what those two people had, that's something that you're like, wow, you just write about it, right? Nicholas Sparks, he'll get you in the gut every time. But in that situation, this man didn't even let you talk about yourself, let alone for there even to be a reason why for you to even question yourself and how you carried yourself in the situation. That is what don't make sense to me, because you're literally questioning if you are tripping or if you're wrong for something that shouldn't have even lasted more than like a day or two, to be honest. So if there is anything wrong other than that, is the fact that you still even hung out or did any of it. For you to go to church with somebody that really don't even know you like talking about it, I understand everybody got to get their connection to the Lord how they want to get it. Whatever is your higher being or higher power, by all means, do your thug dizzle. But baby, I'm not finna take you nowhere where everybody in the Lord knows me and I barely know you. We're not doing that. Because I'm not on your journey to help you find God, and you're not on my journey to do it either. So with that being said, no, cousin, you're not tripping at all. More than anything, you're just tripping. You got tripped up. Let's just say that. And let me tell you something. It happens to, again, the best of us. All I want you to do more than anything is move on, let the situation go, and do what you got to do, honey, because that ain't going to work. Okay? Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it all the way 3 stacks. Andre, if you're nasty. That situation is a hot mess in a hay basket, and it's only going to get worse because this young man literally feels an entitlement to your life or just to your presence and your being. And the fact of the matter is that he could even steal from you to begin with. I know for some people, they're like, oh, it's just weed. The fact that he stole from you in general, he a little too comfortable. Because the fact that you think you can take something from me without asking, then try to come back and backdoor and ask me for something else, sir, you got life fucked up and problems all in the wrong direction. Because that's just not gonna fly, and it's just not okay. There's nothing okay about it. And in regards, he stole weed. What makes you think he won't steal something else? And then the worst part about it is he got money off of your shit and didn't even give it to you. And then he still owed you $10. That's even more fucked up in itself. At the end of the day, that individual all the way around just sounds like a selfish individual. I'm not going to say that he's a narcissist, because I know that's our favorite word this year, but in all entirety, he's not somebody, an individual that you necessarily need to keep around, because he just seems, like I say again, he seems selfish. And nobody's knocking him because he went to jail. I mean, hell, Martha Stewart did time. I mean, let's be real. But I mean, she was a real G with it. She ain't snitch. But hey, that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying, in the grand scheme of the entirety of it, he seems really selfish, and you really honestly could do better, and you deserve better. Hell, you could do even better with just yourself. And it sounds like to me you were doing just fine before he came into the picture anyway. And then also too, to end things off, the way that he just kind of like, I'm not going to say he stormed off, but the way I was just telling my best friend about this. I am very peculiar about the people that I deal with based on how you handle me. If you handle me poorly, you just signed your ticket. Ain't gonna be no coming back, because at the end of the day, people can be hurt, but you still, if you have any form of care for me, you need to be conscientious about how you go about handling me going forward. And I think some people forget about the notion that how you leave a situation is also how you can end up getting treated going forward after that situation. So like, if you sit up here and you disregard me and be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's whatever, then you're going to get it's whatever anytime that I see you. I'm not going to come to you with open arms and, let you come back into my presence or back into my energy, because let me tell you something, I'm dope. I know that. And so a lot of times, other people that are listening to this, other cousins, I need you to realize that you're dope. And you create a gravitational pull sometimes that will pull in good people and also bad people. And so that's what creates this nuance that sometimes we pull in the bad right along behind the good, and then we'll allow the bad to have association with us longer than it needs to. And you can't control who you pull into your atmosphere. I feel like all of us are individual planets, and our gravitational pull pulls different things in. And so a lot of times that accounts for the reason why you wonder why you keep incurring bad situations, because sometimes you are a light. A lot of times people that are living in the dark, they call out to beacons of light. For example, people that are empathic. If you don't know you're an empath, this is going to break it down and explain it to you. If you go to places and randomly people come up to you all the time and tell you their life stories, that's one. Another time, if a lot of times that you'll be in places, you be by yourself and you'll hear stuff all the time, like ringing in your ears, or just like even children or animals will gravitate towards you. That's normally a sign as well. Or also too, you always feel like there's somebody else with you, even when you're by yourself. That means you have some form of a good, strong spiritual energy. So a lot of times empathic people are like that. So when it comes to that, here's the thing though. You can't, as I like to say, you can't be Captain Save-A-Ho. You can't save everybody. And especially people that don't want to do the work for themselves. You can't do that. And based on this story here, you got a gentleman that saw an opportunity, and being an opportunist in the negative construct, he basically saw a way to take advantage of a situation. It's just that you being aware of some of it, even though you still kind of like let them still tug along, you just let the situation play out a little too long. That's more than anything else. But in the grand scheme of it all, somebody that was an opportunist thought they saw their meal and they thought they was going to cash in and eat. This ain't the buffet. It ain't all you can eat. You might eat a little off my plate, but motherfucker, you won't go back for seconds. I'll tell you that one. But with that being said, you guys, of course, make sure you tune in to the next episode. I had to give y'all a little extra tea. and everything else because your girl has been on vacation, but we back now. And of course, make sure you find me on TikTok, your favorite cousin, of course, you always need it, Lady Painted 90. Also, you can find me on the gram at LadyPainted_MUA. And as well, make sure that you go ahead and send your stories into the Ask Your Cuzzin Podcast email. I'm going to pop it right here for you. Again, it is the Ask Your Cuzzin Gmail. It's askyourcuzzin@gmail.com. Cousin is spelled Cuzzin. Okay? Now, of course, I have to leave you with my positive mantra. Now, this is going to be something that I'm going to start doing from going forward. I always do it live when I'm on lives. But I want to make sure you're aware that you are loved. In case nobody told you today, I love you, okay? Second of all, you are capable of love. So the first person your ass best be loving is you. And the most important one, you are more powerful than you know. So give yourself a little bit more credit, okay? I hope you have a fabulous day, and I hope you have everything that you asked for and then some going forward. Till next time.